Hey there everyone, this is Joe in General, your resident reason and evidence enthusiast. It's Sunday, July the 9th, 2017, and today's date may just go down in history, well, my history at least, as a day to remember. Why is that? Well, today is the day that I receive my Populous PPT tokens. Yeah, it's finally here. Very, very excited. Now, if you are not familiar with Populous, and you are in the crypto space, and you are investing in cryptocurrencies, I would suggest that you maybe pause this video and maybe do your research on Populous, do some Google searching, Populous ICO, Populous token, maybe do some YouTube searching as well. You could check out my video here, this one right here, and this one right here. It goes into a little bit of detail, particularly this one here. And also, if you type in YouTube, Silver the Antidote, this one right here, Silver the Antidote, go to his channel, and he's talking a lot about Populous at the moment. But the main reason for this video is, well, two reasons. I want to talk to two groups of people. First will be a very small group of you, and second, a larger group of you. I'm going to start with the smaller group. Now, this smaller group is a group of just under 1,100 people, and they are, including I'm one of these 1,100 that did get in on the pre-sale of PPT, and in about 6 hours from now, between 6 to 10 hours from now, me and you are going to receive our PPT tokens. Now, I am not going to sell. Now, I can't stop you from selling, but here's a little bit of information that you may not be aware of, which may at least hold you back from selling absolutely everything. Now, of course, there's going to be a bunch of you that just got in to flip the coin when it gets released. And at the moment, if we take a look at Ether Delta, a lot of these will be fake buy orders, I think, just to sort of, bump up the price, pump up the price before the tokens are released and you start seeing all the sell orders. So you may see a lot of these being removed. But there's a pretty decent base starting to form. And look, and I absolutely would not have negative feelings towards you. Not that facts, care about my feelings, but you know what I mean. Look, if you want to sell and make an absolute, lot of money, more power to you. However, if you have not been following, for example, Silver the Antidote's channel, or if you have not been on the Slack channel, that's me there, Joe in General. You can find me on this Slack channel. It's at bitpopulous.slack. Maybe if you do a Google search, Populous Slack, you'll find it. If you haven't been following that and you just bought into the Populous token and haven't done any more of your research, and then you've realized, it's opening, blah, 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 I'll just sell all of them for a big profit. Yes, you will get a large profit, but there might be information that you are not aware of, so I just wanted to quickly let you know of that now. I think probably most of the 1,100 holders will know this by now, but in case there's a few of you out there, I would hate to see you sell all of your tokens and then realize, oh, holy shit, I really should have kept them. So let's quickly go to this right here. This is on Steemit. Now, again, if you go to Silver the Antidote's channel, he has been talking about it. Recently, he's been talking about the secret source, and he did an interview with Cliff High. So do check out that video. Great channel. You should subscribe. I am a subscriber myself. He's done some great work on Populous. But I just wanted to give, I guess, a real condensed version, and just for my subscribers, and for anyone who's sees this later on down the track, but particularly for those now who have their tokens and are thinking about cashing out all of them. So here's the secret source. This was released by Shad, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Shad is one of the team members at Populous. I could be wrong, so do correct me. At least I've received a message from him on Slack saying, hey, like your channel, keep up the good work. So thanks, Shad, for a lovely comment. But This is the secret sauce, and this is the reason why you may consider holding almost all of your tokens. If you want to sell a few to get some ether to be able to put into upcoming ICOs, I absolutely wouldn't blame you. In fact, I may even do that myself if the price stays around here, which I don't know if it particularly will, but if it, if it's around 1 ether's worth, I may sell a tiny little bit, just to, that's not my order, obviously, that these are buy orders. I might sell a little bit just to gain some some ether back to put in into some other ICOs, but certainly I'm keeping the absolute majority of my share, and I very likely may not sell at all, depending on where the price goes down to. But for those who are unaware, and this is for the other group of people, this is for the larger group of people who are in the crypto space, but you didn't get into Populous. Maybe you missed out and you're thinking now, it's too late. Why would I even bother? Well, because of this secret sauce, okay? Again, you can check it out on the other channels, but here's a quick little thing that was updated a couple of days ago. Okay, let's go down to the meat of it. Here we go. So tokens and PPT. The first thing to know is PPT will actually be usable on our platform now. Obviously, if you bought Populous, you know what Populous is all about. It's an invoice finance system, okay? So people can sell their invoices. So basically, someone's got... and this isn't for the people who bought Populous, you know why you're in. This is for the larger group who didn't get into Populous. Let's say, for example, you own a business, you've got a whole bunch of invoices due, but they're, your clients, maybe won't pay up for, 30 days, 60 days, 120 days, but you need the cash now, okay? So you go to a company such as this, and banks do it, a lot of private institutions do it already, and you go, here, I have $10,000, for example, I have $10,000 worth of invoices owed to me, but I need the cash now. And a bank or a private institution will go, yep, cool, no problem. We'll give you, 80% of the worth of that, or 90% or whatever, and you pay some fees, and then once you get all your invoices paid by your clients, you pay us back the total amount. So for example, if it was $10,000 worth, we'll give you $9,500 worth now, and then when you get paid the 10 grand in total, you pay back the total 10 grand, and obviously we keep that $500, right? Makes sense? So that's how the company makes money. Now, as a PPT holder, what you can do is you can become the investor in the invoice. Okay, so this is the secret sauce. You become the lender. Okay, so let's quickly read. First thing you need to know, PPT will actually be usable on our platform. Within our smart, you can actually use, you'll notice that PPT, the token, can actually be used to purchase invoices. Okay, so you can become the lender to people wanting to sell their invoices for cash flow. Okay, let's keep reading. Let's see. Simply, you can both invest and hold PPT while also earning recurring revenue. Okay, you can both invest and hold PPT while also earning recurring revenue over a 30, 60, or 120-day period. What will this look like? You as a PPT holder will have access to the Populous platform. On the platform, you'll be able to see all of the invoices available to purchase along with their respective terms. Now, with PPT, you'll then be able to invest in said invoice. We'll then deposit your PPT into a smart token contract, into a token smart contract. Don't worry about these little details here, okay? I just really want to boil this down and get to just the basics of it. Okay, so in return, we'll trade that invoice for you after repayment. Okay, so here's an example. Okay, let's say an invoice seller lists their invoice of $10,000 worth of invoices, and they list it for $9,500 worth. So it sounds like here that the seller is setting some terms. Okay, so they've got $10,000 worth of invoices coming in. They need the cash now, or £10,000, sorry. They need the cash now, and they've gone on the Populous platform and saying, hey, if you give me, I only need 9,500 of it, but I need it now. Okay. What happens is you swap your PPT for tokens. Again, don't worry about the small details. We're just getting to the meat of it here. Okay, and it's basically the same thing as invoice finance. The person gets their 9,500 British pounds, and then once the invoice is settled, Populous receives it and then turns the £10,000 back into these tokens. Again, just think of it like a credit as such. And then Populous takes the fees, a small amount of fee. So the buyer, i.e. you, and this person's name is Alice in this case, Alice receives her PPT back to her wallet along with the interest. Now, this is the interest, okay? 405 GBP Great British Pounds tokens. So again, you can go back through here and read more about what tokens are and how it works. But all you need to know is really, you can become the lender and you can lend out your PPT to people who want to sell their invoices. And then at the end of the contract, when they settle their invoice, when they get all their invoices settled by their clients and then they pay back the loan, you receive your PPT back along with interest. Okay, so this is what the recurring revenue is. So, and here is the secret source, which I thought I understood at the start, particularly when I watched this video here with Silver the Antidote talking to Cliff High about it. I thought I got it, but I needed a little bit more of I needed double, triple clarification. And so I actually went to the Slack and I asked a few questions, and you know, I got some good replies. And here is the secret source. The value of your PPT, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? And I think most people understand this already, but this is for the dumb people like me who maybe didn't get it at the start, and then I realized, or I like to dot my T's and cross my I's. Okay, so let's say in this particular instance here, here's an invoice, and they want, you know, £10,000 worth. Okay, so you don't have to stake then 10,000 PPT. You only have to stake whatever the amount of PPT that you need to equal that dollar amount. So let's say, for example, in, you know, hypothetical land, each PPT is worth $10,000. That's not going to happen for quite a while, I don't think, but let's just say that's the case. All right, so you only need to put up one PPT, because one PPT equals £10,000, and they only need £10,000 or £9,500, if that makes sense. Now, there are some fees involved. There's some extra that you do have to pay to cover, I think it's 120% of the invoice. But again, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. You don't need to have 10,000 PPT or 9,500 PPT in order to participate as a lender on the platform. It's whatever the equivalent dollar value of your PPT is. So I think that's the real secret source. So for example, if you were one of the sellers, one of the buyers of the pre-sale, one of the 1100, it sounds like 300 the movie, like we're this special, you know, the 1100 club, right? But if you're one of the 1100 and you did the minimum contract, and I've done this before in a couple of previous videos on Populous, right? The minimum contract was 5 Ether, you got the 2% bonus, and that netted you, it will net us around about $4,635, okay? Now let's say, for example, it goes to, well, look at these crazy prices, right? But let's just say it settles down. If we go down to Ether Delta, and let's see where there sort of looks to be more credible buy orders, and it's definitely in this one range at this stage. Look at these kind of orders. See, when you go up here, you know, 2 Ether, you know, it 0.02 PPT, it sounds pretty fake to me, right? This could be, this could be real, this 3.5 PPT, but I don't know. So we'll see where the price goes when tokens get released in about, 6 hours time. But if we go down, let's just say, for example, where's the most sort of credible prices? And I'm going to say it's around about, where's a big order? I'm going to say, why the hell not? Let's just call it 0.14. So let's say the price settles at around about 0.14. It could settle lower, but let's just use 0.14 as an example. And you bought that minimum contract of 5 Ether, and that nets you 4,635 tokens. So times 0.14 equals 648. That's Ether, that is. Now let's times it by the Ether price, and the last price I saw was about 240. I don't know where it is right now. Let's just say it's 250. That's in US dollar terms, not Australian dollar terms. Australian dollars, it's higher. But let's say times that. Okay, so if the price settles at around about 0.14 roughly, I think it might quite possibly settle higher, but let's just use 0.14, or it could be lower, you never know. The value of your PPT, of your 4,635 PPT, is approximately 162,000 US dollars. Okay, can you imagine the amount of invoices you may be able to buy or lend out, the amount of money you can lend out, all that money to people on the Populous platform and lend it out to them? You hold your PPT, you get to keep your PPT, and you receive interest on your PPT, right? You receive interest. So why the fudge? Why would you sell all your stock? Why would you sell all your tokens? Now, you may have really good reasons, and more power to you. As I said, you may have no money in the bank. This could have been your last dollars in your bank account. So yes, of course, you may need to sell some for bills and rent and food and whatever. Hell, you may just want to go to Tahiti and live, the rest of your life in comfort. Who knows, right? But I would highly suggest to my 1,100 fellow Populous members that you hold pretty much all of them, because when this Populous platform becomes live and the amount of people wanting to sell invoices starts to outweigh the number of lenders that there are, and there's currently, us, 1,100 of us, and the value of our PPT, you're going to start seeing really nice profits. Now, and you get to keep your PPT. So this is obviously contingent on the platform going live, but I believe they're already 90% done. They're in I think they're soon to be in alpha stage, then they're going to be in beta stage not too long after that. I think it's a couple of months out, as far as I'm aware. If anyone has better information, put a comment in the video, of course. But it's contingent on, there being enough invoice sellers for all of us to be able to cover it. So, an equal supply and an equal demand, right? But I can certainly see down the track, and not too far down the track, really, I'm talking maybe by the end of the year, there may be enough invoice sellers to adequately cover all of us 1,100 PPT holders to the value of whatever PPT is at the time. It's quite possible. So let's say blue sky thinking, let's say next year sometime. Let's not even say this year. It could very well be this year, but let's say next year. The price is, again, it's maybe hovering around that 0.14, 0.15 kind of mark is where the price is settled. So it's around about your 162,000, and you've got the platform really taking off, right? And there's plenty of people wanting to sell invoices. Okay, that means every single month you could lend out 162,000 $12,000 US dollars and receive interest on that. Okay, now the interest worked out with this particular one here. It worked out, so let's see, the person, this is 9,500 pounds. They received back 405 tokens. Now, tokens can be just traded, can be exchanged for whatever fiat currency that you're in. So just call it dollars, right? Call it dollars. $405 off that initial, say 9,500. There is a little extra you have to put in. I believe it worked out to about 12,000. So let's just say 12,000, and I believed it worked out to somewhere between 3 and 4% roughly. Yeah, it was a little under 3.5%. Is your, I guess, your interest on that. Now the interest will change depending on the contract terms, but let's call it 3%. Why not? So let's say 160,000, and there's enough tokens, enough invoices out there to cover, you loaning out all your 162,000 worth of PPT every month for 12 months. Okay, and again, this is real blue sky thinking, but let's just think high right now, right? So let's times that by, let's say, sorry guys, 162,000. You know what? Screw it. Let's make it 2%. Why not? I don't think it might get as low as that, but let's just make it 2% times 0.02 equals 3,240 US dollars in 1 month if you were to do all of your PPT and lend out all of your PPT to invoice sellers. Now, you're not loaning out your PPT. The PPT gets held by Populous, and the person gets tokens, and then they change those for the pounds or dollars or whatever. But right now, let's just say you rinse and repeat, and you do that 12 times, right? Once a month, 12 times. That's an extra 38,000, close to 40 grand in profit, just by holding PPT and not doing a damn thing. The value of your PPT remains. You can still sell all your PPT if you want. Eventually, if something happens, if the price goes absolutely wild and you're like, shit, screw it, I'm getting out, then get out. But why don't you consider holding your PPT for now, and when the platform is live, I think, again, it might be a couple of months away, why not hold them and then start lending out to people who want to sell their invoices? Why not? This is passive income. Okay, so that's my pitch. It was a long pitch. I'm a little tired. It's getting a little late, and I have to go to bed, and I have to get some good sleep so I can wake up at bloody 3:30 a.m. But I really want to get this video out first. So that's the message to the 1,100, and I am one of them who did get in on the pre-sale and who will be owning in about 6 hours' time your PPT. Sell a little bit if you want, as I said, but you would be completely mad if you wanted to sell them all. Again, you've got your own business to attend to, but really, really think about holding them for now and then participating in the Populous platform. So that's the pitch to the 1,100. Now, this is the quick pitch to everyone else. And this is, I guess, is obviously to people who are already in the crypto space. To my subscribers, I have nearly 3,854 now. Thanks to all the newbies that just came on board. It was actually 3,700 something yesterday. And so if you've been following me, you're into the cryptos. And again, you may have not gotten into Populous, or you thought, there's others. I'll just wait till the Pillar contract or Dimcoin or Salt or Starter or Insurex or whatever. I'm telling you guys now, if you can get your hold on some PPT, I would highly suggest that you do. Now, as I'm an investor in PPT, I want you to presume, look, I'm not trying to pump the price, but just go ahead with the assumption that I am trying to pump the price, that I'm trying to scam you. Okay, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, but I would highly recommend, if you haven't gotten Populous yet, you may want to consider getting some. Now, would I be buying here at 2, 1.7, 1.6? Probably not. It's very likely going to settle at a lower price. What that price is, though, I do not know. So you may consider waiting till the dust settles after we the 1100, after we receive our tokens, and after inevitably there are going to be people who do sell some. Wait till, see where the price settles at. Maybe wait a few days even, see where the price settles at, and then I would highly suggest trying to get your hands on some. Now, this is the Ether Delta website. Maybe do a YouTube search on, say, how to use Ether Delta. It can be a bit fiddly, but once you get it right, it's smooth sailing. But you just make sure you really know what you're doing. The biggest thing you've got to really make sure of is you've got the right buy and sells here. Really, you've got to watch your numbers, watch your zeros. If the price is actually, here and you do that, well, man, someone's going to snap up that in a second, and you just, bought for 10 times the price than what you wanted to. So you just got to be really careful with your zeros or your numbers, okay? Make sure, really double sure that you've got your numbers correct before, you hit the sell or buy button. So I thought it was going to be shorter than what it was, but I really wanted to make sure that I got that the secret sauce to you. Again, if you want to find out more about the secret sauce, go watch this video here on Silver the Antidote's channel. Great video, great channel. Subscribe to him as well. And of course, feel free to subscribe to my channel, Joe in General, cryptocurrency stuff, firearms, politics, philosophy, and many more stuff. So I'm going to go to bed because I need to get at least a few hours sleep before I get up early. But I will post this video before that, of course. So to my 1100, good luck on Ether Delta today, this morning, early in the morning for me. I'll be watching, and look, as I said, if the price does hover, starts to settle around about much higher prices, I may look at selling a tiny bit, and I'm talking a real tiny bit, just to get some extra ether to pop into, say, InsureX maybe, or Kin token when that comes up, whenever the hell that's going to come up, but just a little bit to, reinvest in some other stuff. But I am going to hold the absolute bulk, 99%, and possibly 100% if this thing, goes all the way, settles down here. I'm not selling at all. I would highly suggest that you don't sell, and I would highly suggest that if you don't have Populous, you do get in once the dust settles. Thanks very much, gang. Stay safe, stay informed. Speak soon.